Hey everybody! We are running a little bit late, but on our way to the Tobin Expo Center for the second day of International Aerospace Expo. Today is Aegis Dynamics. They're in the Zenith Hall today, and they are a military contractor, well known for building some of the toughest ships in Star Citizen. Let's see what they've got on display for us today. Oh wow, I know what that is. So, Aegis also make the Reclaimer, which is an absolutely massive salvage ship. The first ship we have here is the Saber Comet. This is a dedicated medium fighter. It has 4 size 3 weapons. The Comet is one that has a loadout equipped specifically for Arena Commander. It also has this custom digital camo look paint as part of the package. On the opposite side, we have the base Saber. This is exactly the same ship, just with a different loadout, and quite frankly, I think having the Panther laser repeaters on the side is probably a benefit over the other one. Also, I quite like the black and red paint scheme that this one comes with. Which one do you prefer? I'd love to hear in the comments below. This absolute behemoth is one of the 2 capital-sized ships that are in the game right now. This ship is so big, it can be hard to get a sense of scale until you stand next to one of its feet. And I don't know if you noticed, but that little speck down there, yeah, that's me. That's me right there. You see? That's how colossally massive this ship is. The Aegis Reclaimer is best crewed by a team of 4 or 5 people. Not only is it a big ship, it actually has different levels inside. The first of which is a large cargo hold that can hold a little over 300 SEU worth of cargo. Then we have a salvage hold, which currently doesn't have a grid for you to attach salvage to, so I guess that floor's kind of non-functioning. We do, however, have the salvage processing floor, and this kind of double-story floor is where all of the boxes will come out from the turret operators salvaging, spitting out 1 SCU of RMC, and these can either be placed around this area or taken down to the cargo hold. This somewhat atmospheric, dark, and grimy ship is inspired by the Aliens movies. It's pretty old and worn down. This ship's interior could be a little bit dystopian or depressing. This area is like a command hub, which allows you to access a number of the remote turrets, as a ship this size needs a number of turrets to be able to properly defend itself. These 2 seats on the side operate the salvage beams. This on the left is the pilot seat, and this on the right will eventually be the dedicated claw operator's seat. Also, if you get claustrophobic, I don't recommend using the front exit. And it does kind of look like you're walking into a coffin. Oh, and what's the claw? This thing on the front is the claw that will eventually be used for munching, which is breaking apart large sections of ships in order to reclaim them as salvage. I did have this ship, but I ended up melting it. It's just much harder to find 4 people who are willing to do this rather than blow things up. Here we go. Now these are some of the military ships that I was talking about from Aegis. On the left here we have the Gladius. The Gladius is a dedicated light fighter. It has 3 size 3 hardpoints, 1 on the nose and 1 under each wing. It is pretty dang maneuverable, handles quite well in atmosphere, and as it's one of the ships that's used by the UEE Navy, I have a feeling that this ship will always be combat relevant. It's also the ship that's currently used for testing out master modes. If you're interested in trying out master modes, you can do it in Arena Commander. This version on the opposite side is the Gladius Valiant. The Gladius Valiant comes with a custom paint job and a slightly different loadout than the standard Gladius. However, it's functionally the same. I was previously informed that it may end up having slightly more Gs of acceleration, at least according to lore, that it's kind of more tuned, but I haven't seen any numbers that back that up yet. And the centerpiece of this haul is the Aegis Dynamics Hammerhead. This ship has 5, 6, 7? Each of these turrets comes with 4 size 4 Rhino laser repeaters, which do a colossal amount of damage. If you have a group of people together and you all want to go out in one ship and blow stuff up, then this is one of the best ships for doing that. Its size category is known as a corvette, which is just under the size of a capital ship at just over 100 meters long. The cockpit is situated down here on the front, so one of the problems with the Hammerhead is you have quite limited visibility. Despite this being one of the most expensive ships in the game, you can come and rent this ship for absolutely free if you come to the International Aerospace Expo today. Over in Hall 4 now, we have 2 of the dedicated torpedo ships. The Eclipse is a dedicated stealth bomber. It has a very flat wing structure and the wings actually fold in order to make the landing gear. Aegis as a manufacturer tends to have very similar to actual aviation style ships, as you can see by the massive amount of buttons and controls and comms, not all of which is functional, but you can definitely tell that they've taken some real inspiration on the design from actual modern day aircraft. This ship comes equipped with size 9 torpedoes. A single size 9 torpedo, if it lands true, is powerful enough to completely take out a Hammerhead. Okay, I don't think that's supposed to be there. This pointy and gnarly looking ship is the Aegis Dynamics Retaliator Bomber. I haven't spent a great deal of time with this ship, but it is quite a marvel of design, and I believe that it takes some inspiration from submarines with the internal design language. Once again, another example of Aegis Dynamics' focus on military-style vehicles. You see what I mean about the kind of submarine feel? The turrets aren't quite as powerful as the Hammerhead, and also, with it being an older design, the turret operators on the bottom are actually upside down, which isn't necessarily desirable. Little bit disorientating getting in and out. There we go, a little confirmation on the right hand side. This ship does indeed have 6 size 9 torpedoes. They did a really good job of set dressing the IAE this year. Here we have the Vanguard ships. On the outside, all of the Vanguard series look very similar. They have a custom set of 4 size 2 weapons on the nose and a size 5 hardpoint, which you can either equip with a size 5 fixed weapon or a size 4 gimbaled weapon. This variant is the Harbinger, which is the bomber/missile variant. The Vanguard Harbinger comes equipped with a space toilet and size 5 missiles. The Vanguard Hoplite variant is a dedicated dropship designed to bring your troops in and out of danger with a selection of weapons from the weapon racks so that you can come into a hot zone and take control of the ground. The Vanguard Warden, like the other ships, is classified as a heavy fighter, and this is designed for long-range trips, and out of all of the ships, the Warden is likely to be the best armoured. Then finally, we have the always recognisable, because of its bright blue paint, Aegis Vanguard Sentinel. As well as being the most maneuverable, the Sentinel also has a trick up its sleeve, as well as having some computer banks that you could potentially use for a small amount of data running. It also comes equipped with an EMP, giving it a little bit of a potential for bounty hunting, as you can use the EMP to disable the shields of other ships. It also comes with distortion repeaters on the nose as standard. Unfortunately, although the Vanguard series was the premier heavy fighter, since CIG decided to release the F-8C to the public, this ship is now looking quite long in the tooth, being both less maneuverable and having less firepower than the F-8C. I certainly hope that they end up giving some love back to these ships, as they are not in a very good place in terms of either how updated they are in internal design or how competitive they are in combat. They are still, however, perfectly serviceable ships and quite useful for PvE. And this little ship here is the Avenger Titan, also known as the Space Penguin. This ship ended up placing first on my starter ship tier list, which you can find up in the top right hand corner of the screen. A great little ship for if you're starting off playing the game, and a ship that you will pull out with fond memories throughout your playthrough. This variant is the bounty hunting variant that comes equipped with a little bit of prison space for you to lock up your bounties. Other than that, it's pretty much the same as the standard Avenger, with a bed, pilot seat with good visibility, and a front entrance ladder. This ship here, the Aegis Redeemer, is my favourite ship out of all of the Aegis lineup. You have a little bit of cargo space. You can actually fit 2 SCUs worth of cargo in there. It has beds for 4 people. It comes with some complimentary drinks and bits and bobs, with a couple of jump seats and a weapon locker, a broken weapon locker. But the main reason why this is a great ship is because it has some incredibly powerful turrets, one on the top and one on the bottom down here. Each of the turret operators has access to 2 size 5 weapons, which means for a 3-man crew you can actually be a devastating force, especially in thicker atmosphere. Normally this ship costs around $300 or about 9 million AUEC to buy with in-game credits, but of course right now it's available to rent for free. I don't know about you, but I'm adding this one to my ASOP terminal. I believe the only difference between the Titan and the Titan Renegade is a slightly different loadout, much like the Saber that we saw earlier. Finally, we have the Avenger Warlock, and although from the outside it pretty much looks the same as the Avenger Titan, you have the front entrance, you have a similar looking paint scheme, all the weapons appear to be the same. The main difference, as you can see, is in the back, where you have the Dizzy Room of Doom. This is a rather large and rather powerful EMP chamber, allowing you to destroy other ships' shields or knock smaller aircraft completely out of the sky, disabling them with a powerful electromagnetic pulse. It looks like we've covered everything here today now, so let's have a quick look on the Roberts Space Industries store and see what war bonds are available. So although not quite as exciting as the Gattac and Alien Day yesterday, the War Bond Daily Deal is a Saber with 10 years insurance. Do you like Aegis dynamics? Are you interested in getting the Saber as a War Bond upgrade? What's your favourite Aegis ship? I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. This hologram doesn't really do this ship justice, but this ship is the Aegis Idris. The weapon on the front is a size 10 railgun, an absolutely chunky weapon that I believe can currently shoot targets from about 40 kilometers away. This ship, along with a number of the other Squadron 42 ships, will be coming to us as soon as Squadron 42 releases to the public. Also, this ship is like $1,300. This ship is one of my least favourite ships. It's the Aegis Nautilus, and it's a dedicated mine layer. I just think that laying mines becomes significantly more complicated in 3D space, and so this ship will never find a place in my hangar. Maybe they'll fix it, maybe they'll surprise me, but I think this ship is going to be a bit of a nightmare. But tell me why I'm wrong in the comments below. This ship here has been a long time coming. This is the Aegis Vulcan. The idea of this ship is that it's a dedicated repair ship. Excuse me, sir. It's also going to have a number of drones that you use in order to control and repair from a distance. Quite an interesting ship design, however it is not currently in development and I'm not sure when it will be. Hopefully you found this video useful. Thanks for watching everybody, take care and bye bye! Let's hop downstairs. Let's hop downstairs. Let's attempt to hop downstairs. Yeah! Damn, that's a big ass ship.